Questions to ask a real estate agent when investing. These are the key questions you're going to want to ask any real estate agent when investing. So at the end of the day, you want to know what kind of value the agent's bringing to you and your team that you're creating. And if they're not bringing you value, then why are you working with them? Years ago, what I used to do is I used to go find the properties and then I would send them to the agents to write up. But let me just tell you, it's not always the best way to do it. In fact, I felt like I was that person's assistant and they were getting paid off my efforts. Not that that's not sometimes the case, but when it always is the case or becomes more than just sometimes, you need to look at what kind of value they're bringing to the team or to your team. So here's some questions that you should be asking your agent or agents in general before working with them. You're going to listen to this and you may talk to some agents and they are going to differ with you and say, I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever. I don't really care. This is all about you and not the agent right now. You want to ask them what kind of value they're going to bring to you and your team. Here's something to avoid. Sometimes they want you to sign an exclusivity agreement. An exclusivity agreement means that you could only work with them. And if you work with someone outside, maybe a different agent, and you close a deal, you still have to pay that agent a commission. I don't like those deals. I don't like those contracts. I only like contracts where you get paid when you perform. And so an agent worth their salt, they have to be able to perform for them to get paid. Otherwise, just like I talked about a second ago, you end up becoming their assistant finding the deals. At the end of the day, that's just a win situation for them, not a win-win situation for the two of you. So again, what kind of value are they bringing to you and your team? It's a legitimate question you need to constantly be asking yourself. Here's a list of some other things that I inquire about or ask when talking to real estate agents. How do you find deals or any off-market deals? So you want to make sure, because sometimes agents are really well networked and they're finding all these off-market deals prior to them getting listed. And sometimes you just have people kind of lazy. So you want to make sure that you're working with a hustler. How do you do that? Ask them, how many deals have you closed this year? How many have you specifically sold and listed? What do I mean by sold and listed? Like if they're just selling or listing a property, that's one thing. You want to make sure that they could execute on both ends. You want to make sure that if they could get the listing, they give you that listing opportunity first. Maybe it's a pocket deal, pocket listing is what they call it, but also that they're able to deliver and find buyers. Because what's nice is being able to bring a buyer to your project prior to you completing it. I love the team player win-win scenario amongst all of it, right? So let's say, for example, I'm listing a property and we all agree that property is worth, let's just say a number of $400,000. It's worth $400,000. We all agree on it. Well, at the end of the day, the realtor comes back and says, the market feedback is closer to $350,000. Well, I just took a $50,000 haircut, right? If they're getting paid 3%, they're not. What's 3% of $50,000? $1,500? Is that right? Not a lot of money on their behalf. You, huge. So I like to do a sliding scale payment structure with them or performance structure. If they perform and get the number within a certain percentage of what we agreed on, pay them the 3%. More than happy to. But as that number starts to bump down, especially if the number came from them and they were wrong, well, they should be participating in the financial shortfall as well. You got to make it painful for them. They can't just be saying and telling you a number and not holding firm to it. It holds them accountable, but also makes them hold the line because they don't want to let go of that commission. I appeal to the greed factor also when buying properties as well. We could talk more about that later. But in this scenario, what it's doing is holding them accountable. You agree or disagree with me? I don't care. Comment on the below and tell me what you think. And I'd love to hear from some of you agents as well. So it's okay, fire away. Let's get going. I also like to know how long they've been at their particular brokerage and how long they've been doing real estate. It tells you how well networked they are, if they've weathered any recessions or if they're brand new at it. I'm not trying to judge a person if they're brand new at it. I love the hustle of like some of the brand new people, but there's something to be said about it for the people that have been in it a minute. They're pretty networked, and sometimes you hear about the stories how they've sold the same property over and over and over again. I love those. Those are the type of people I want to work with because maybe they'll bring me a couple of those deals. So we've talked about the sliding pay structure. Sometimes you end up giving the listing back to the broker that found the deal for you. Sometimes you don't, but you want to make sure like that they earn that if you're giving it back to them. Again, that they're participating on the upside, but also if you have to take a haircut, they're participating on the downside as well. So something to think about. Are they worried about their name if they're putting in lowball offers? Here's the thing. I like to put in lowball offers. You as an agent may not like it. Well, we probably won't work well together. I want people that just don't care because when I get a yes, guess what? I'm going to close on the deal. I'm looking for the people that we're going to be able to strategize with, come up with a good reason and story of how we're going to get that property for as little as we thought or hoped for by pointing out to them the reasons why we're going to. Now, okay, great. We're talking about a totally different market right now, but hypothetic, this is a one-off. Typically in hot markets, yeah, you could do a lot of different things and houses are just going to move. But in your typical market, we all have to dig a little bit deeper and a little bit more, and you're more easily able to get those lowball offers accepted. But you can't just throw them out without a story. You have to be able to come up with the story, and maybe your agent can help you. So you want to make sure that they're participating with you in that. At the end of the day, really what you're trying to find out is this agent investor friendly. A lot of agents hate investors. They just do. They think that we go out there and we ruin the entire market, blah, 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 by putting in lowball offers and fixing and flipping houses and whatever. And I could understand that. There's some people out there that maybe give it a bad name, but we're also the ones going in there, putting in the risk to go in, put the offer in, rehab it, hold it, and then sell it for a profit. And sometimes we sell them for a loss. Sometimes we break even. But what we're trying to do is find an agent that understands that wants to work with us, that create that win-win relationship where we get the property, we get to get an upside, and they get to participate in the upside by reselling that house with you when it's time to. So if they're not on your team and not willing to do that, don't try to convince them. Just cut bait and go find someone that is. So with that being said, here's the thing. Never depend on one person to go find the deals for you. In this being said, I want to give you 100 ways to find off-market deals. All you have to do is click on the link below, and it's a free gift for you just for watching today. Appreciate it.